Hi, welcome back to Gangster Movie Recaps. I hope you're doing well wherever you are. Let's watch Rampant. A merchant ship is posted up outside of a Korean town. The merchant hustler has burners for sale, but the heaters aren't the only cargo that the ship is packing. A local official is surprised to see a man caged up like an animal, also eating raw meat like an animal. The merchant says it was his mate, who recently died, even though he's clearly not dead, and now has violent and freaky tendencies. Later on, the locals run off on the plug, torching the ship and taking the cargo. The locals are rebels. They plan to use the guns to overthrow their government, but the king finds out and of course he's not having it. So now the Minister of Defense, Ja-Joon, is all over their ass. King Lee isn't looking out for the people. He's wasting resources and getting fat while citizens in the region starve. So typical government bullshit, but the prince doesn't like it. He's the leader of the rebels, and actually arranged to purchase the blicks. But Ja-Joon intercepted the gunplay, then looted and torched the ship. Prince Lee-Young respectfully confronts his dad, and tells him that his bad politics and Kim Ja-Joon's tricks are ruining the nation. Then he pulls his blade to make a point. The term is called seppuku. The prince commits it, to save his comrades and their family, also to stunt on his pops. The guns aren't the only thing that came off the ship. A soldier got bit by the sick passenger while making the raid. He gets home and takes it out on his wife. After eating his lady out, the freak goes to terrorize the town, in full-blown zombie mode, quickly spreading the disease around. Prince Lee-Chung is the king's second son. Before committing seppuku, his bro wrote and sent him a letter, telling him how their pops is messing up, and asking him to come and take care of his pregnant wife, who's a widow now. The prince knows that something is off, by the burnt corpses on the roadside. Then he finds a village that's been abandoned and ran through. Hak-soo is the prince's aide. He breaks off and searches the village looking for food, people, or a clue to help figure what the hell is going on. Because of the king's negligence, there already wasn't much food. Hak-soo finds some past rotted fruit, but he gets spooked when a creep grabs him by the boot. The royal guards show up. Hak-soo saw the freak and got the hell on, but the prince is not trying to hear about it. The guards hit the scene, but Lee-Chung is not impressed, or exactly happy to see them. Either way, he lets them know that they're late as fuck. The guards look sorry. Lee-Chung notices their unauthorized weapons and bummy appearance, so he knows that the posers damn sure aren't the royal guards. Then the set jumps off. The action is no problem for the prince. Hak-soo gets the hell on, but Lee-Chung is not lame with the sword game, and he's got fly kicks, so the set is all in check. The goons have been sent by Kim Ja-Joon, but Lee-Chung immediately realizes that Ja-Joon isn't the only threat when a freak jumps out and beef jerkies a goon's neck. The whole scene turns to fright, because these freaks only come out at night. The prince doesn't know what's going on, as Z's flood the village, violently trying to get their bite on. Hak-soo is all the way shook, and continues to get the hell on. But Lee-Chung has backup. Hyuk and Park Yul-ryung were down with his brother. They've been waiting for the prince, and also trying to defend the villages from the zombies. They're a small crew of fierce warriors, but they're committed and dedicated to the cause. Lee-Chung is skeptical, as he watches the gang get down. A goon survives the assault. He hops a horse, and quickly gets gone. Park Yul-ryung suggests to Lee-Chung that they also get the hell on. As they walk, Park Yul tells the prince how bad things have been in the area, due to his dad's politics, and that the recent zombie outbreak is only adding pressure to the shit. So now the people need Prince Lee-Chung to rescue them from the bad politics, and also a zombie apocalypse. The goon makes it back to the city, to report and get paid. He's been bit, so he's nervous, and trying his best not to show it. He tells Kim Ja-Joon that Lee-Chung was killed in the village, and that it's all good. Ja-Joon plays it low, and agrees to give the peasant his pay, but the goon pushes his luck. When he asked for a raise, Ja-Joon has a zombie goon on standby now. And he's making moves. Ja-Joon is plotting on the throne. He has the king's favorite whore in on the play, but she's really just a pawn, and now she's a hot piece of meat for Ja-Joon's freak. Later on, King Lee is having a personal feast in front of all his whores while they starve. He's oblivious to the zombie lick, and how his main girl has been bit. But he's about to find out. She tells everyone how he loves smashing on her, and that he's a sorry-ass lover, and King. Then she falls out and starts geeking. King Lee looks on, shook, and confused. The bedmate gets back on her feet, all the way turned out as a zombie freak. King Lee is stuck, and all shook up. And he should be. The Z jumps to chump him off, but staff respond quickly. A guard shows up and sees the freak doing creep stuff. He nervously strikes the Z from the back, not knowing that you can't kill a zombie like that. He gets lucky and sticks the heart, ending the walker's attack. Kim Ja-Joon took the sick passenger from the ship along with the guns. He intends to use the disease to take over the land, and things are going as planned. Prince Lee-chung arrives at the palace to see his pops. He tells him about the conditions of the town's folk and how zombies have them in a yoke. He acts unaware of it, but the king knows firsthand, since he's been bit. Kim Ja-Joon interrupts the convo. Lee-chung wants troops to return to the village and help the people. Ja-Joon basically says, nah, but Lee-chung steps up, saying that he's not going out like his bro, and lets Ja-Joon know that he'll get in his ass. Pause. King Lee really doesn't give a damn about none of it, but he wants to let Lee-chung know that he didn't have anything to do with killing his bro. He says he loves his son, and it's bothering him. Then he tells Lee-chung to get the hell on. The prince listens respectfully. He's not there to compete for the throne. He calmly walks off, quietly letting his pops know that is the king. He sucks. Later on there's a celebration, and it's beautiful, but the king is in attendance, and he's starting to freak out as he watches the show. He reminisces and has flashbacks of Prince Young committing seppuku and his freak horror's attack. Kim Ja-Joon is also in attendance, and he's chillin' like a villain. Then King Lee reacts and rushes the stage, springing on a hot dancer for a snack. The crowd watches in disbelief as the performer aggressively gets ate out by the king freak. Lee-chung walks up. He's shocked when he sees the behavior of his pops. Kim Ja-Joon calmly looks on. The crowd is tripping and spooked out. They know the king is gone. He has the Z disease now, full blown. King Lee gets put down like a creep. Lee-chung sees it all. Kim Ja-Joon boldly steps up, letting the prince and everyone in attendance know that now he's running the show. Then Ja-Joon crowns himself king. Then walkers flood the scene. The guards are on point as they try to control the situation. Prince Lee-chung sadly approaches his pops. He takes a pause for the cause as the party-goers and Kim Ja-Joon get the hell on. Lee-chung gets activated. He pulls the chopper and starts swinging on Z's. Ja-Joon insisted that Prince Young's pregnant wife attend the event. Lee-chung cuts through the crowd of freaks, trying to reach his sis-in-law, Jo. Of course, freaks don't die, they multiply. Lee-chung makes it to Jo right on time. The couple prepare for the exit. Lee-chung gets all the way busy with the blade. He slices and dices, easily cutting down demons, sending them straight to hell, while protecting Jo as well. Hak-soo is loyal to the prince. He brings horses. Lee-chung and Jo continue to flee the Z's. Jo quickly mounts up. She's safe, so the prince also mounts up and speedily gets the hell on. Kim Ja-Joon is still cool, and he's safe. He goes into hiding with his supporters. They plan to wait it out until the morning. Soldiers are set to defend the palace, but they get overrun and outnumbered by freaks. The Z's tear their ass up buffet style because the soldiers are still lame to the zombie killing game. They try to hold it down, but the soldiers really don't have much hope as the Walking Dead storm the palace walls and go rampant all over the kingdom. Park Yul and the crew have been arrested, so Lee-chung goes to set his people free, but the prison gets ran by the freaks. Park Yul-young has been reminding Prince Lee-chung that he's the rightful king, but the prince has been adamant that he's not interested in becoming the king. He says he wants to do his own thing, even though he keeps stepping up and putting the people first. Park Yul tells him to get the hell on. Lee-chung agrees. Park Yul also manages to get the hell on. The whole city has had one hell of a night, but there's relief in sight. Since the zombies are nocturnal, they break out at the first show of daylight. They hide in tunnels and shadowy places, like bats. Kim Ja-Joon's plan has worked perfectly. He'll use the guns and easily take out the Z's while they sleep, but a freak pops up to challenge that. Ja-Joon's not having it, and he immediately gets the freak off his ass. But the zombie was quick. He looks at his hand and realizes that he's been bit. His supporters are low-key happy because they were already getting tired of Ja-Joon's shit. They grab a blade and prepare to dethrone the new king. But Kim Ja-Joon's not going out like that. He has a chopper, so all of his supporters get bushwhacked. Then he hacks his bit hand, but he's still holding on to his dreams of becoming the king. He eats what looks like dry turmeric and also piles it on the stub, hoping that he might recover and get well soon. Later on, Lee-chung and the gang go to Ja-Joon's hideout. They're looking for the gunpowder, or a clue as to Ja-Joon's whereabouts, but he's nowhere to be found. The crew plans to lure the zombies to the palace, and then use the gunpowder to fire their freaky asses up. But Kim Ja-Joon is on the scene. He kills the crew's escort. Ja-Joon has zombie strength now. He hasn't fully turned, but he's pissed and crunk. There's also several other freaks in the bunk. Lee-chung looses his sword. He knows he's beat, so him and Park Yul make the retreat. The prince orders Park Yul to get gone, but Ja-Joon still wants the throne. The zombie king is walking down on the prince. Hak-soo accidentally and intentionally busts a move, giving Lee-chung a chance to get the hell on, but he doesn't realize that Hak-soo was still in the building. Ja-Joon doesn't hesitate to give Hak-soo the blade from behind. Lee-chung and the crew watch helplessly. Kim Ja-Joon is a zombie king asshole. The prince cries out and mourns for the loss of his faithful assistant and friend. Haksu dies slow, but he went out hard on the low. The crew managed to get enough gunpowder, but Park Yul got bit at some point, so he lets the crew know. They sadly say their goodbyes. Park Yul insists on staying behind and lighting the torch. He reminds Lee-chung that he's definitely the king, and that the people still need him. The creeps are attracted to sound, and they need to be burned. To make sure they don't return, the crews rig the palace to be torched, so Park Yul bangs a bass drum gong, setting the royal play in motion. The plan is going smoothly. Even though he's fading fast, Park Yul stays focused and committed to the task. The prince watches safely in the distance with the rest of the crew. Park Yul goes to blaze it up, but like a fucking fire marshal, Ja-Joon shows up. He extinguishes the flame, hating hard as hell on Park Yul and the gang. The prince grabs his brother's sword and prepares to get it on. He storms the palace, solo dolo, on some warrior king gangster shit. He's greatly outnumbered, but he doesn't give a damn and he's still lit. He springs up and jumps into the crowd of freaks, swinging his Ginsu in the mosh pit, and he's just getting started as Z's get hacked, slashed, and their throats slit. He makes it inside. Ja-Joon sits on the throne and calmly looks on. Lee-chung immediately checks on Park Yul. With his last breath, Park Yul says it was an honor to roll with the real new king. He tells the prince to reclaim the throne and hold it down. Lee-chung intends to do just that. He picks up the mallet and beats the hell out of the bass drum gong. The crew knows what's up when they hear the beat bumping. But freaks are always trying to eat, so they're acting out and starting to tweak. Ja-Joon looks on as Lee-chung simultaneously crashes on the creeps and bangs the gong. Lee-chung's blade is extra thirsty, and he knows how to get it wet. He's going super hard and he almost has the situation all in check. He tries to wrap it up. The palace is laced with flammables, so he strikes the ground and catches a spark, but he can't get the flame to start. Then Ja-Joon steps up. On the fire marshal tip again, Deaki senses that something is afoot, so she decides to check in. The whole time Ja-Joon's been on chill. Now he's piped up and fully ready to get ill. Deaki is bringing a flame, but since he's been going hella hard, Lee-chung is getting handled by the zombie king and slowing down in the ring. Deaki comes through with perfect timing and a perfect shot. Lee-chung sees the light, so he turns back up. He busts a dope move, and by using the walkers' heads as stepping stones, he makes it to the ceiling post that the flame is stuck on. Deaki hopes and prays that it's a hit. Lee-chung flexes off on Kim Ja-Joon, knowing that it'll all be over with soon. Lee-chung drops the burner and blazes up the palace. The zombies are trapped in place, and the crew's plan has worked. Lee-chung watches in relief as Z's and the palace drown in flames. Lee-chung safely makes it to the roof, but so has Ja-Joon, and on sight it's back on. The zombie king is a major hater, so he's not giving up the throne. Lee-chung is still putting up resistance, but Ja-Joon's sword game is strong, and the prince slips up. As he hangs on the ledge, Ja-Joon talks some shit and prepares to cut the prince off at the head. But as he strikes, Lee-chung counters. He hits the gas one more time on Ja-Joon's funky ass. The prince is getting down with a dagger now. He lands the poker in his chest, but the creep king disregards the poke and catches Lee-chung with the Undertaker choke. Then the roof buckles, giving Lee-chung a chance to slip the grip and give Ja-Joon a flip. The Z-king is out for the count now. The prince has had enough of the zombie shit. He takes Ja-Joon's sword and crashes all out, sending the zombie king straight to hell, no doubt. Lee-chung went out like a legend, and he's still alive. Then a guard who dissed him earlier comes through, and the troops that he requested arrive. Not only has he saved the land from the zombies, he's also unified the people. As soldiers and townsfolk fight side by side, Lee-chung can't deny that he's the undisputed chosen king. He looks on, crying as he smiles. Then it ends. I gave this film 5 stars because the swordplay and movie concept were fire. Let us know what you think in the comment section. I really appreciate you watching. If you enjoyed, let me know by liking and subscribing for more gangster movie recaps.